Don't
Hello
tell
and
me.
welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am wrong.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff. We've updated the stream yet again. Try and pause the video right now and try to see what's new. That's the joke. You're not going to be able to see anything that's new. But we've added a chatbot on Twitch to be able to help us, make sure people know where stuff's at. They can find the YouTube link and they can find the stream times and everything. But if you're watching on YouTube, you don't have access to that chat yet because it only works on Twitch right now. But you can come watch on Twitch Live or you can watch on YouTube Live and you can still see when other people use the command. So,
Oh,
there's options.
and who knows? Trey may use the commands there a couple times.
Yeah.
Might get Treyfish typing going through.
If I do it, it's not going to work, right? I should have tested this before the actual start of the podcast, but
Probably.
yeah, it doesn't work, but it does work on the Twitch side.
All right.
Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, absolutely. Eat well. Eat well, ta.
All right. Well, as we do every week, we start the podcast off with weeks.
Yes.
Rundgren, how's your week been?
Not too bad.
Sit is not currently command.
I am sitting.
Hold on. I got this. Keep going. I gotta sit command.
Okay. Now I watched the Incredible Hulk cartoon, which becomes, I think in the second season, it's Incredible Hulk and She-Hulk as well.
Nice.
Yeah. It was interesting. It was... Bruce Banner passes out a lot, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
To that. But I think what surprised me the most about that is going behind the scenes and seeing some of the voice actors.
Yeah.
Like they went back and got Lou Ferrigno to make some of the Hulk noises and the
Hulk.
Yeah. That's got, if you know, you know.
Yeah, why not? Sure.
I'll check out some of the other voice actors in there. I'll double check that, but it's not a great series. But it was fun. I guess it was fun enough.
Yeah.
It still follows the when you watch a cartoon like that. It's a 30-minute cartoon packed in about somewhere between 19 to 22 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how, sometimes maybe you might get 24.
Yeah.
Which this formula has been, everybody knows this formula. You may not realize you know it, but everybody knows this formula. So
that's how it goes.
Yes, that's other shows. So there were some times you just gotta like let some stuff go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and go through. But overall, I will say it did do one thing that I was so happy about. It brought in the Gray Hulk.
Okay.
And we actually have a mix of green and gray Hulk, and that is a series in the Hulk from the 90s.
Yeah.
That is pre Professor Banner.
Right.
Banner Hulk, Professor Hulk. So it was nice seeing Joe fix it on screen. And I could have done some more of that.
Yeah.
But overall, it's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a solid seal of okay.
Yeah. If you're fiending for like, some Marvel stuff, some comic book movie, superhero something,
yeah,
it'll work.
Yeah.
I think it could have been better. But then again, it's not really it's aimed for kids and not for kids at the same time.
Yeah.
I think a few things.
So you mean it's everything of the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah, pretty much.
I will never get over how the Incredible Hulk is a series that goes, yeah, we need to add Hulk dogs in because they add them in the comics, they add them into the cartoon, and not that cartoon. I think it's a later cartoon. I think that is the Hulk dogs, and then they added them into the live action movie, and they go, we need to add Hulk dogs, and then they're brutally murdered every time. And the reason to add them was because the guy's kid would like them, and then he has them brutally murdered. It's like, what?
Yeah. No, Hulk needs a dog.
Yeah.
It's like one of those quests, Pet dog, you end up snapping his neck.
Hulk needs dog badly. Also, just real quick, for those in the chat, I've made the sit command, and I will show it to you now. I'm very proud of that.
I will know a couple of people that will enjoy that.
Yeah, yes. I'm very proud of that.
There's one of them right there.
Oh, if you don't get the joke, that is one of the longest running gags in that show.
Yeah.
They get their mileage out of that one for sure.
Um, I also been playing like Skyrim again,
Okay.
but with all the survival on, so there's
Right.
no fast travel.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. They that southern road that runs
Yeah,
east to west. Yeah, I'm going up and down that a lot.
I bet.
Do that. Yeah.
Man.
And dude, I thought dying was rough before, but it's like,
Yeah.
I fast travel right over here. So I got to run a little ways.
Yeah.
Uh no, it's not. Or like when you die, it's heartbreaking. And
Yeah.
Lydia's dead. Lydia's dead.
Of course.
She died from the new quest they gave in the Saints and Sinners. I haven't
Yeah.
started it. Well, just started it.
Right.
We went to go fight some people. So everything's bad.
I really want to know what your total playtime is going to be when you're done with it, just because how long it took walking.
It's really strange because you can still take the carriage.
Yeah.
So I can still I can still get to Riften quick.
Right.
Kind of fast travel to Riften. So you can do all the major spots. And then I haven't tried it yet, but I imagine going to Solstheim, taking that ship,
Right.
will be the same as well.
Can you correct me if my memory here, but can you? My understanding was you could not take a carriage to a city you haven't been to yet, right? So like you couldn't go to like Malketh unless you'd been there.
I'm not sure. I thought that's the way it was, but I don't think it is.
Okay.
Unless they did something with the patch later. I think you've
Yeah.
always been able to take a carriage from the start of the game. As you can get to the carriage, you can go. Look, we're not going to talk about what I'm doing on details. I didn't need it. I was walking slow. No, I think you've always been able to take the carriage to the main cities.
Okay.
Um,
You just can't take it to the little cities.
yeah, I can't fast travel anywhere.
Right.
So
You
I
got to
can't
walk
go,
everywhere else.
yes. So like that first main little town, the river stop. Yeah.
There's the rolling timer.
Very good.
I may wind up needing to move that to like 25 minutes instead of 15.
Eh,
We'll see.
some nights, I'll never know.
We'll
But the fishing's a big disappointment.
Is it?
Yeah. Now I hear there's some cool stuff you can get, like there's some unique stuff. So maybe but if there's like 3 things, I think.
Yeah.
And I haven't got any of them yet. So once I get those, then I guess there's really no more point in fishing.
Yeah.
Oh. I think
That's unfortunate.
it's so it's so close on so many levels. Because the food thing's not bad.
Yeah.
But you don't ever become a better cook.
Yeah.
You become better at everything else, but you don't become a better cook.
Yeah.
Even though you just know how to make all these dishes.
Of course.
I don't know.
It really doesn't seem like it'd be that hard to put in like a light leveling system for recipes either, because you already have the system for crafting.
Yeah, just like because your top levels, because of the cold and stuff, one of the best foods on there seems to be stews.
Yeah.
They warm you up, so that seems like it should be like up the crafting level. Of course, that'd be hard to go because look,
Right.
I'm level 20, and just the other night I got the Ibis guard.
Yeah.
And started going up the 7,000 steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an experience. It's different. I'm playing it. The you can't move when you have a cat in your lap, and that's the
right.
law.
That's right.
That
Can't
is-
break it.
The Lady Bass commands it. You cannot move. I don't know. I'm looking forward to it go because one of my kids absolutely loves watching it.
Yeah.
That's even better reason to play it. Another
Yeah,
reason to
for
play
sure.
it. But it does make because you have to plan to go somewhere.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
gotta load up on food, make sure you got a good sleep. If you're, if it's going to be up in the mountains, you better find, have something to help keep you warm.
Right. That's really cool.
It's almost there. It's not bad. It's not bad. And it's not as hindering, at least like the survival aspects of it, having to eat and sleep and all that.
Yeah.
It's not horribly hindering. It doesn't, the cold does make it a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
And according to the tips on there, the Nord is most resistant to the cold.
Right.
So it does give another reason to play if you're inclined to play a Nord in his homeland,
Yeah.
his or her. But I'll keep you informed. It's going to take a while to get
I'm sure.
anything done.
I'm sure. That's
A
cool though.
while.
That's cool. Make a female Nord, name her Elsa.
There you go.
All right.
On the nose, on the nose.
It always is when it comes from me.
Chatting about my week. How was your week, sir?
Well, my week's been interesting. I dipped into 2 updates. I've tried to get to 3, but only got to 2. The first one was Minecraft: The Deep Dark update.
Okay.
And Minecraft is a game that my significant other and I play us fairly a good amount. It's a game that we like to explore, and so when this new update came out, we were really excited. And it took us a while to find the Deep Dark, but the Deep Dark is a new biome that spawns in caves at a certain depth, and it's maybe the coolest biome in that game. So there's only one mob.
Okay.
He's incredibly hard to kill, and it turns Minecraft into survival horror because you have to sneak around this city in the Deep Dark with these sensors that go off. And if the sensors go off and they're near enough to a shrieker, it shrieks. And when it shrieks, the warden burrows up from out of the ground and begins to hunt you. Now, he can't see.
Okay.
But he can hear you. And he can smell you. And he can attack you through blocks.
All right.
They put so much work into this mob. He has like a pulsing heart on his chest. And you can hear the heartbeat get closer as he gets closer to you.
That's big. The sounds help a lot when you're building the atmosphere.
Oh, yeah. And
Totally thought like that.
The whole time he's attacking you, there's these skulker boxes that are making everything around you, if you're near one, dark. So you can't see. Even with torches, you just can't see. And so you're having to try and run from him or hide from him in complete darkness where he has the advantage and you don't.
So this is a new biome. This is in the main game.
Yeah. Added through a free update.
So before you get to, I don't know much about it. Before you get to the Ender Dragon, you got to get to the portal to the Ender Dragon.
Yeah.
First, right?
Yeah.
But with this, you just got to find the right cave.
Yeah. So this, you have to find it down somewhere, and it can spawn at anywhere in a certain depth. My understanding is there's a lot of them. It's not just one single one.
Okay.
There's a lot of them, and there can be more than one warden if you have multiple players. We found that out the hard way. I got away from my warden after she had spawned a warden, and my warden went after her because he couldn't find me. So then she had 2 wardens after her.
Well, they've created this is the Minecraft version of Mr. X.
Yeah, it's exactly that. And he busts his way around. He climbs his way up on top of blocks, burrows up in the middle of buildings. It's great. It's really, really fun. And the way around it is actually pretty simple. I'm going to put up spoiler Lubu because if you don't want to know how to get around this mechanic, you want to figure it out for yourself. Okay. You can turn away or you can put your headphones down until spoiler Lubu goes away. But it's actually really simple in that you just have to sneak up and take out the shriekers. The sensors don't really matter as long as you take out the shriekers. But they have them set up where there's multiple shriekers that hit off of each other. So you have to get in, hit a shrieker, get out as he's spawning, and then come back in to get the next shrieker. And there's a really cool system where the sensors can click up if you're not careful, and eventually that'll summon him too. But as long as you're careful, the sensors are nothing, right? You're good. But he can also just spawn on his own if he hears you because he's underground. It's a pretty low chance, I'm told, but it's a really cool zone. I'm gonna pull spoiler Lubu down now.
So it's a really low chance, but it's enough to be in the back of your mind while you're playing.
Yes, always. we have set up a forward operating base at the start of the Deep Dark and are slowly clearing it. But at one point, she didn't die from him hitting her. She died because he launched her so high up into the sky that the fall damage killed her.
Oh.
And he killed me through a wall with his sonic attack, his scream. So it is such a weird, cool addition to this game. Because, like, boss-wise in Minecraft, they really just had the Ender Dragon, the Temple Guardian, and the Wither, right? Those were the three big bosses. And the only one you had to beat was the Ender Dragon. And then they had, like, mob encounters, like spiders that could ride, or skeletons that could ride spiders, charge creepers, pillagers, stuff like that, you know? But this is a full-on, like, boss monster in his lair. It feels really cool.
Oh, man.
I hope they do more of this stuff because it's great. I captured a lot of footage. I'll be making a video on it. But I just wanted to talk about my experience here because I want to get more footage first. I want to encounter him more times to gather up some more stuff. But
all right.
Well, that's fun. Minecraft's still a great game. Then the other one, the other update, is Strangers of Paradise had a DLC.
A Final Fantasy DLC.
Yeah, this DLC's weird, man. So I had not finished the main game because I was waiting. I knew they had DLC coming. They'd announced they had DLC coming. The only way you could buy the DLC was in a season pass, so I bought the season pass. 3 DLC packs coming, and I said, well, I'll wait to play the game again because I had plenty of other stuff to play. I'll wait to play this game again until the first DLC comes out, which was a mistake.
Oh.
Because the way this DLC is put in the game is really strange. This DLC has a new job with it, just like I thought it would. New weapon type that has multiple jobs tied to it, which is the staff. Okay. It has a random % chance to drop from enemies after you purchase the DLC.
Okay.
I've cleared 2 missions and not got a staff yet. Every other weapon for the other classes, you can, when you complete certain missions, you get 1 guaranteed. I don't know why they didn't just add it to the guaranteed weapons that you get. I was able to do the tutorial, so I've played around with that weapon. But you don't get one for finishing the tutorial.
After the success of Diablo Immortal.
Right. And so I just can't use these new classes at all because I don't have the weapon they're tied to. And what's even more weird is the story content is all post-game story content at a new difficulty called Bahamut difficulty, where enemies can one-shot you if you don't have extremely good gear.
Wow.
So I want to see this new story content, but first I have to finish playing through the main game before I can even start the DLC that I waited to play the main game for the DLC. It's not all doom and gloom because there are like new armor sets that are dropping now.
Cool.
Which is nice.
To get a staff.
Right. Got to beat the game just for that.
Game, all you're going to get are staves.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Because they're going to be in the DLC missions. A lot of people are upset about this because the new story stuff is locked behind this higher difficulty. This higher difficulty requires you to be like gear level 400. For a lot of it, it's what it builds up to. When you finish the main game, you're probably at gear level 200. So you need to go back and play on Chaos difficulty, which is the hard mode, right?
Okay.
To be able to get better gear so that you can do the new stuff that you paid for, which was not how it was advertised. And
but it is hard. You got to admit, though, right? It's hard to put in end game content.
It is.
Once you've got those levels, once you've got that stuff. I mean, sometimes you don't want to do that character anymore.
Right. Absolutely.
Or I'm not that. It's the story's not engaging anymore.
Right. And I think this was that attempt, right? Hey, we're going to give people a reason to still be engaged. We're going to give people a new cool thing. And for what it's worth, they do have a thing called Extra Mode that lets you play with like extra bonuses so that you're more powerful in Bahamut mode. Okay. But I got to get there first. And every time I finish a mission and I didn't get a staff, I'm just like, well, I could be leveling this class right now, but I can't. However, they did add in some cool stuff for people still playing the main game. They added in It's really weird that it didn't exist before. They added in accessories. So, like, now I can equip bangles and stuff like that. Really weird in hindsight that wasn't there before.
Now this just released?
Yeah, this
The
DLC just came
DLC?
out. Yeah.
And we're gonna be getting another Final Fantasy game pretty soon, aren't we?
Yeah. So I'm expecting we'll probably get not specifically a tie-in, but like, hey, as part of DLC Pack 2, you're gonna be able to wear that character's outfit or something, you know?
I see what you're saying. Yeah, probably more than likely.
But
to have something over.
they've also added like new tiers for the old jobs, so it's not like you're not getting anything, you know? It just nice, ribs are good. It just feels weird that it's like, hey, you bought this DLC. We didn't tell you you had to have beaten the main game and go to the highest difficulty to do it, but you're going to have to. And I've seen a lot of people upset and some people that are loving it. Some people that love that difficulty. One guy that said that his SO and him beat it. Oh, thanks for the follow, Drowena.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Nightbot gives us a little animated thing now for that, which is really cool. But some people that said, hey, it took them in their SO like 2.5 hours to beat one boss, and they love it. So,
yeah, there's something. I gotta admit, there's something about that feeling of dragging through a fight,
yeah,
having to heal, get yourself back on your feet, and finally winning.
yeah.
That is a pretty good feeling.
So it's tough to say, you know, how it's gonna go. I'll have to get there myself and find out, you know. But I do think the new additions are cool. I still really like that game. I just beat the Wind Shrine. And spoilers, I guess. But the Wind Shrine.
The new edition is cool.
Right. The Wind Shrine is in space in this game.
Okay.
So, you know, that was cool. Yeah, Stranger Paradise just continues to be a great game, and I'm really excited to see how the DLC goes. But I gotta get there first. So
Well, you got some games on your plate, I think. All right.
yes, there's a lot of plate. But that's pretty much been my week. I've still been working on Guild Wars, of course. I've still been working on some other projects on the backside. I guess I could give a Mega Man update since I put that video out. Redoing the Mega Man ranking video. Going back and redoing that from the start. Working on Mega Man 1 right now. I've beat Cutman and I've beat Electman. And I'm working my way through. So it's going to take a long time.
So you're gonna go through 6 again.
Yeah, I'm going to go through all of them again.
Oh my god.
That means I have to play all of the bad ones as well.
Boy, some of those are rough.
Yeah, we're going to get to Burn to the Ground again, and I'm going to get to listen to that for... But I also get to replay some really good games. So, you know, it's a trade-off.
Yeah.
But,
yes.
Yeah. So that continues. Hopefully I'll finish Mega Man 1 within the next couple weeks. I'm not rushing it. I'm not going to try and rush this project. It's somewhere close to 45 games. So I am taking it slow, and I'm just trying to beat a boss a day.
Whew.
So, you know.
Hey, have fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Have fun.
But those original Mega Man games still really, really good. I'm going to review each one after I beat them individually as well, because why not? And the Cutman and Electman stage music is all incredible. That music is top tier.
Yeah.
But that's been my week. I guess I did do one more thing. I'm sorry. I watched Les Miserables again.
Okay. Wait. What did you watch?
I watched the movie.
Which one?
Not the play.
So okay. The Hollywood, the Hugh Jackman.
Yes.
And
Gerard Butler.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have seen both the movie and the play multiple times. My SO had never seen the movie before. And I do think the play is better musically, but the movie is better storytelling-wise. And so I wanted to show her the movie so she could see the story, and then we can always go back and watch the play later. Now that she knows the songs, and can hear what I think are the better performances. But it's also really, like, I can see a lot of people criticize the performances in the movie, and I get it. I do. But they also weren't trained singers, most of them. And they had them in pretty rough condition in a lot of chunks of that movie. Like, Hugh Jackman, in large parts of that movie where he's singing, is like maybe 100 pounds ragged for the sake of that part, you know? Like,
well, also you can't doing stuff from a stage, projecting from a stage, doing Broadway, things like that. It's almost a different form of acting. Hey, we got an ad.
Ad time.
Ad time.
It's ad time. So that was
Yes.
at exactly 31 minutes then? I was thinking about adding a timer that'll just let us know it's ad time
Yeah.
in the chat.
You're getting fancy over there. Fancy. But, oh my gosh, we're gonna have all kinds of stuff going on. You're gonna have an automatic ice cream vendor before you're said and done.
Right. Okay, that should do that. That should take care of that.
All right. Thank you for watching the ads.
Yeah, we do appreciate it. No, I agree. It's a very big difference between the like going from a stage to going to a studio or a set.
Yeah. Yeah, I think. Yeah, and I think the songs from that are going to lend themselves
Right.
to they need to be sung big, both
Right.
in what am I like in rebellion, yeah, almost so to speak.
For sure. I think the best example of that is Stars from Javert. In the play, it is a heartfelt, angry plea to God to who is this man that has gone free, and these stars that look down above, I will hunt him down and I will find him, or my name is not Javert. Whereas in the movie, Gerard Butler is a lot more somber, and it feels more like a just, hey, this is a man who's at the end of his rope almost and is praying for guidance. Really completely different feeling,
Well,
So it's a great movie. But Fiddler on the Roof is also very good. I'm gonna be excited to hopefully show her that one soon. So.
yeah. So if I was a rich man,
All right, well, let's get into the rest of this podcast then.
all right. Am I looking at this? We have a review this week.
We do. We have one single review. I was hoping we'd have two because Digimon Survives embargo went up today, but no reviews went up for it today.
Okay.
That'll be next week. But
I have a score in my head, and I'm going to be biased because I want to keep doing the podcast.
So I should specify for anybody who doesn't know, my absolute favorite Switch game is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. My absolute favorite Wii U game is Xenoblade Chronicles X. And my absolute favorite Wii game is Xenoblade Chronicles 1. So I'm maybe a bit of a fanboy, which is why I'm glad I get to be the one to read the reviews because I get to pick all the ones that make it look good, right? No, I'll be honest. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the newest one coming to Switch. It will be the culmination of the work of the previous two games, is what we've been told. And yeah, what do you think the regular average score is for Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Weird JRPG series.
Well, I'm going to be even a little more biased because we watched that video.
Yeah.
Of the making of it and the people that their hearts into it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to go 95. I got high hopes for this game.
Got a 76 in the chat. Oh, I forgot to bring up the ice cream.
You fool. Why? Ooh.
There we go.
76 and 92.
We got to take Dark's name off there.
97.
Give people the chance to get their own name up there instead.
Yeah.
All right. And the score is 87.
87, really?
So unfortunately not as high
score.
as I want it to be, but yeah, it's still pretty high. Low ball it, I don't blame you, Will.
There's no other game. This game crossover with Zelda, the Breath of the Wild game.
Yeah.
You could actually get it.
They put Rex's outfit in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, you had to catch a falling star or something like that, didn't you?
It's crazy.
Yeah, they actually crossed over. That's how much they thought of this game.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to. For Nintendo, it's a big deal.
Right.
Mix anything in with Mario or Zelda.
Well, and I think that Xenoblade Chronicles 1 as well is like, it is widely considered up there with like Chrono Trigger, which is insane if you haven't played it. It seems crazy. But where that game goes is incredible. And then 2 got a much harsher reputation because it was declared too anime. is the art style. But
Okay.
once you actually play it, that game is also incredible. So I have over 600 hours in that game. uh,
That's a
so
long time.
it's more time than I put into some MMOs. I'm gonna, and it's just single player. I have some reviews here for you. ACG says bye.
Okay.
Had to throw that one in there. RPG site says between an exceptionally well-written cast, a deeply satisfying combat system, and an amazing adventure that remarkably earns its very long runtime, Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a JRPG masterpiece.
Okay.
Then we have Goddess Geek, who says Xenoblade Chronicles 3 changes things up in a good way, offering a twist on the most unique combat out there. It's lengthy, engaging, warm, and probably the best RPG of the year. The best one yet, for sure. I'm sure he does have me beat with Lotro.
Yeah, I think the character right now is like almost 3 months.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't get hours when I put in time. I get months.
We have Daily Star, who gives us some of our favorite reviews on the site, that says it may be too overwhelming for some, and the length of the game may put others off. Period. Space. Another paragraph. But RPG fans are going to love it, and the Switch can now boast of a cracking new title in this genre.
I think it's going to have more weight than what that review was giving it for, as far as how people are going to accept this game.
I think so too.
A lot of people, the people who are going to play this game, they already know
that
they're going to play this game.
Yep.
They're getting this game.
I have one more review for you.
All right.
And this one is from Game Informer. That says Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a double-edged sword that needs a bit more sharpening. So, do you like it, but you think it needs more sharpening on the good side, or it's hurting you and it needs more sharpening to hurt you more?
Do you not? Go for it. Is there more? Please tell me there's more.
No, that's it. That's the whole blurb.
Oh no. Oh.
I had to read that one. I couldn't resist once I saw it.
Somebody got paid for that.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. So, based on those, what are you thinking? What do you think? Wave release is 97 or higher?
I would like it. I would like it to be that high, just because the name recognition. I think what they're going to go for, I think it's going to be around 82.
Okay.
On that.
We had a 92 from Faith.
Yeah.
99 from Will. Wow. So, unfortunately, there are people that hate anime RPGs. So, it got 93.
That's a pretty good score, though.
Yeah, it's up there for the year for sure. 93.
Yeah. Faith Ann almost hit it.
Yeah, that puts it. If it sticks that, it will be just under Elden Ring and just above Norco in the Hall of Fame for the year. So.
There's a plethora of fantasy games coming this year.
Yeah.
So
that's pretty impressive still. I'm like chat, I'd like it to be a little bit higher, but I haven't played it yet either, so I don't know that it deserves that. But I'm assuming it does. For reference, for anybody who's not sure, stuff like Live A Live wound up with an 82. Stuff like Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels wound up with an 84, even though originally it had a higher score. Just because more reviews came in. And Stray, which we talked about last week, has fallen down to an 84 from its original 89. So
some of that may just be like, I don't want to be, I'm not cool.
Yeah.
I don't know, because that game seems to be really well liked.
Yeah, people like it. So, all right. Well, we'll take reviews off the board then. Nobody made the chart this week, but that doesn't mean you won't next week. So please continue to look forward to that. I'm going to make a little review thing that we can put in !review and let people know the rules of the game every week. That'll be nice.
Right. Yeah,
you have
a new bot to play with, obviously. So
that's right. I got toys. Next up, we have some announcements. If I could spell right, that would be great. There's some pretty cool stuff in here, and then there's some stuff that I think is going to elicit some discussion. So,
okay.
Tactics Ogre Reborn has been announced, and it's coming out November 11th.
Tactics Ogre.
So Tactics Ogre is like one of the big PSP SRPGs. It came out
Okay.
right around the same time as Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions.
All right.
And it is considered by many to be one of the best in the genre, but it's PSP locked, right? So it's been really tough for people to play it. This version seems to be better in almost every way and coming out on non-PSP hardware. So
Yeah, that's it. That'll probably be big.
currently PS4, PS5, hopefully will come to Steam and Xbox later on, but it'll have improved visuals and sounds. In fact, the entire soundtrack is being re-orchestrated by an orchestra, which is really cool. It's going to have updated design when it comes to the gameplay, like revamped AI, a unit-by-unit level system. So one of the big problems with the original game was when your units would change class, they would go back to level 1 because levels were class-specific, which means that you could have a really strong knight that could change class into a merchant and then be level 1 stats again, even though they were like a level 10 knight.
That should count for something.
Right. So now it will, like it should have always. They're also going to add an ability to speed up battles and autosave, and all the cutscenes will be fully voiced.
Hey, fancy.
So
Fancy.
super cool. Really, really looking forward to that. It's a game that I really love, and unfortunately, it is difficult to make a PSP work nowadays, and I had it physical and not digital to be able to move it to a Vita, and the Vita store is closed now. So
Yeah. Well, they found another outlet for it, so.
Yeah.
I'll be
Everybody
able
who's
to
like, just emulate it. PSP emulation's rough. You can do it, but it's not ideal. So, yeah, pretty excited for that.
Right on.
This next one was originally a rumor, and just for a reminder to everybody, normally we only talk about rumors if they come from a credible source. But now it's been basically confirmed by Jeff Grubb. And so there is a Black Panther game. I can't spell. I still can't spell. There is a Black Panther game in the works.
Well, this is to go along with the movie, right?
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
Specifically,
They've been hit or miss lately.
They have.
So, I mean, it used to be you're pretty much guaranteed a bad game.
Yeah.
I think
Trey does.
X-Men Origins, the Wolverine game, might be an exception to that rule.
I agree.
But
That game's awesome.
Most of the time, they're bad games, but it's kind of between. They had a horrible. We saw what they did with the Avengers, didn't work. Put out Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was great.
Yeah. So, and Marvel Spider-Man was all pretty good. So,
yeah,
there's been a weird fluctuation, I suppose, but we did get a little bit of details about this. It's going to be an open world single player game where the player becomes the new Black Panther. We don't know if that means you're going to be T'Challa. We don't know if it means that his father is gone or if it means T'Challa is gone and you're going to be a creative character. We just don't know. But it is early in development right now, and it's being published by EA, so it's going to be great.
No comment. I know it should be something to get excited about, but this is definitely one to wait and see. I can't.
Trey can't spell. Yeah, we know this. We know this. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I can't get excited for this until I know more, and especially knowing what I do know, which is that EA is involved.
Yeah. Yes.
Next up. Oh, go ahead.
Money grab. Probably it's just gonna be a money grab game, much like this next one that you're freaking mentioned.
Yeah. So, Gollum has been delayed, and they don't say when to. It's just months out. But they have a deal that's like, first off, we'd like to thank all of you for your patience and support. Over the last years, our team has been working hard to bring you a remarkable story in a breathtaking world filled with magic and wonder, which is not how that game was sold to me originally, but okay.
No, it seemed to at first it seemed to be a much more stealthy underground game.
Yeah. We are dedicated to meeting our community's expectations and uncovering the untold story of Gollum, This is where I start to get really confused and concerned. The untold story of Gollum in a way that honors the vision of J.R.R. Tolkien. So, in other words, you're writing a new story for Gollum? Because you don't have the original story untold. You don't have that. Because that's one of the things that Tolkien said he didn't ever write down.
Right. So they were going to be going off of, because there's stories about, not stories about Gollum, but there's rumors. You get
references.
References. Yeah, you get ideas about Gollum from Gandalf, and I think Elrond as well in the book. I can't remember. So are they filling in the blank, or is it just about when he got kidnapped?
I'm not sure, because originally the game was supposed to be after, like, in his hunt for the ring after the incident in The Hobbit, which is not really an untold story per se.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. But they go on to say, that being said, in order to deliver the best possible experience, we've decided to push the release of Gollum by a few months. We'll update you with an exact timing in the near future. We're grateful for our passionate community, and we cannot wait to share this unique adventure with you soon.
This is gonna come out. All it's gonna be is like a Telltale riddle game.
Yeah.
Answer riddles.
Yeah. What has he got in his pockets?
No.
Oh, man.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like, what is gonna happen? You know, what could this game be?
Well, if it was a straight through linear game, I mean, you could do his escape from Mordor.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few, or just surviving in the down there by his pond, and, down in the Misty Mountains.
Yeah.
Or you would hunt down goblins and stuff. But if you try to do too much with it, I'm afraid it's going to get lost.
Yeah.
The Gollum game should be straightforward and not simple in gameplay, but kind of simple in story.
Right.
So I don't know. I have to see when it comes out what they're basing this on.
I agree. I have my prediction, though. Are you ready? Here's my prediction. Because all that you said is what it should be. Here's my prediction of what it actually will be.
Okay.
I'm predicting that following the events of Bilbo taking the ring, spoilers, I guess, for The Hobbit, which has been out for most of you watching have been alive. Yeah. After that happens, you play as Gollum as he chases Bilbo and the dwarves all the way to Lake Town, through Mirkwood to Lake Town, and then you go back and try to get to the Shire, and the game ends with Gollum deciding not to steal it back in the Shire and going back to where he's supposed to be instead of getting captured like he's supposed to. I think they're just going to tell their own story, and it's not going to make any sense at all. And it's just going to be like a set piece to set piece thing where you sneak up behind them and then you get to watch the event happen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like I said, I think there's areas that this could be done right, but I think they're going to go more with the popularity aspect of it now. What? And we don't have do we have a date on
no,
this?
just it's been pushed back a couple months.
We'll have to wait. I'll wait and see. There's a lot of stuff going on with Lord of the Rings now I don't want to get into. And it kind of really even makes me wonder more now what direction this game is going to take.
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's only a few spots where it seems to me it could be a feasible game.
Right.
You know, because there's times when he was hunted. You know, when you go to Mordor, when you get captured and go to Mordor, Gollum goes to Mordor, he was being hunted by Aragorn.
Yeah.
At that time. I don't know, man. That seems a strange way to do it. And if he got around the ring again, he's going to try to get it back.
I agree. I agree with you. I just think the people making this game don't understand anything about the story. I could be very wrong. And if you're watching this and you're working on the game, please reach out to us. I swear I'll sign an NDA so that Rundgren can talk to you and learn what this game is going to be about. Because I know if it came down to one of us, it needs to be him. But like, please, because from where I'm sitting, I have no faith whatsoever. So you got to build me back up to faith.
All right.
Next up is a really cool one. Papers, Please is coming to mobile on August the 5th.
I don't know if I ever want to hear that.
It's such a weird, cool game that I feel like too many people haven't played and just know, like, they know the memes, right? But it really is unique. I think it is, of all video games that I've played, it is probably like top 5 most unique.
What did it come out on?
It originally came out on PC many, many years ago, and then it got an iPad version, but it never actually came to phones.
Okay.
So Lucas Pope, the developer of it, is putting out the mobile version now. This is the same guy that made Return to the Obra Dinn, 6 Degrees of Sabotage, Hellsing's Fire, The Sea Has No Claim, Unlisted, all that stuff. But Papers, Please was his breakout game. And anybody who's never played it, you should try it. It's a really interesting game that hammers home how messed up, like, because people argue, well, it's communism, it's capitalism. It really hammers down how messed up every economic culture is, really, and how no matter what country you're from, all of us have problems.
Yeah.
It's an incredible game.
This is just right around the corner.
Yeah.
I just realized, yeah.
What was I gotta look it up now. What was the original Papers, Please release date? For anybody who's never played it, you play as a person who works in an immigration booth. That was 2013. Who works in an immigration booth, and you have to check people's papers as they come in. And if you don't let enough people in, you don't get paid. You get paid for each person you let in. But if you let somebody in that is not on the up and up and they commit a crime, you have to pay for whatever they damaged because you let them into the country.
Oh.
And you have to get paid because you have family back home that is trying not to die of the cold, and you have to pay the bills. And so you have to balance, hey, this person's paperwork is not exactly right, but it's close, and I really need to let more people through, and I'm running on a timer with, hey, if I let them through and they cause a problem, my family members will suffer for it and can die. And it's really, I keep talking about how good it is for, like, hammering home the fact that, hey, none of it's better than anything else, really, when you get down to the brass tacks of it.
Yeah.
Of what it does to the person in that kind of situation. A lot of people say it's dystopian, but there's a place in the world where it's very similar to that. So that's all I'll say. On that, play that game. It's really good.
Very good, sir.
And then, finally, for announcements, Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher has gotten a release date. This is a game that I mentioned before being very excited for. And it's October 20th.
Okay, that's not very far away. We still don't have an answer yet on the how you create your monster in this one yet, right?
No, the trailer that has the release date just shows training them and fighting them. It doesn't show, like, the process. But
okay.
I do know if you pre-order it, you get Scavenger for free. So for Ultraman fans, just keep that in mind. There is a leaked list that may or may not be true of what kaiju are in the game.
Oh.
And it's hard to keep up with that kind of thing because how can you know? You know? But the leaked list looks pretty solid if it's true.
Man. That would be hard to trust, though, right?
Yeah, very hard to trust.
Ugh.
But I just
want to maybe be mostly complete, if not complete.
Yeah, I want to make it Ella King. I want to make it Ella King and then make him strong. That's all I want. Ultraman's cool, and nobody talks about Ultraman. I'm excited for this game to try and, like, talk about Ultraman again.
Well, we'll have to keep an eye on it because the big thing about this, remember that because we've talked about the old Monster Rangers where you use a CD, or certain CDs, you get special monsters.
Yeah.
And how they were going to go about what creates monsters in this one. So
What if
okay.
you boot this game up on your Switch and it uses the Switch's camera to see if you're watching Ultraman in the room, and if you are, it scans that monster in so that you can use it.
Ugh. You were just using this excuse to play Switch and watch Ultraman at the same time, right?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
That's what you're looking for.
Oh man, I have recently dug back into Ultraman again because it's the only one of the properties I'm allowed to talk about right now because of the copyright strike, and it's because it's owned by Superaya instead of Toei, and so I'm allowed to talk about Ultraman, and so I've been watching more Ultraman, and I've come to the realization maybe I like Ultraman the most out of the other sets, which. That has a video all on its own that'll be coming at some point when I've got my thoughts all in array there, because there's something about the hope that's in Ultraman that just really resonates with me.
Okay.
So
maybe another tier list sometime.
yeah.
We get that.
Now we'll move into the news, and I'm going to tell you right now, some of these news topics are going to take a while to break down. Like this first one. I can't tell you if this is a mod or not, but I have a theory, and after I get done explaining this to you, I'll tell you my theory.
Okay.
Nier Automata came out many years ago.
Okay.
The original release date for Nier Automata, let me pull that back up now, was 2017.
Okay.
And at some point in the last month, of course, we had the announcement for the new Switch version that was coming, the end of Yorha. Then, last month, on the subreddit, a person put up a question that had never posted on that subreddit before.
Okay.
Asking, hey, and the username was Sad Futago. And the question was, hey, why can't my friend get into this church? Now that immediately made people go, okay, well, they're talking about towards the end of the game. I'm trying not to spoil too much here, but it made people go, okay, they're talking about the end of the game. Must be a bug. No worries. Just tell him to reload the level. Should be good to go. Maybe reinstall the game. Push him to shove. Day before yesterday, Sad Futago put up a video. And in this video, in the middle of a firefight in the copied city, walks to a wall where a button prompt comes up, the door opens in the wall, goes into the wall to a stairwell, or like a ladder, drops down the ladder to an area. There are resource drops here, just like in the open world, just like in the levels. There's just regular resource drops, not special gear, just regular resource drops, like there would be.
Yeah.
And then goes through a spiral hallway into a church, and the video cuts there. Now, people went, excuse me, what? Because people have been trying to mod Nier Automata for a while now. And the mods so far have been just gameplay mods of like, hey, you can mod 2B's character to be something else. You can remove 2B's skirt permanently, things like that, the basic mods. But it has been impossible for the modders to mod level layouts or get out of bounds with any real, success.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, this video surfaces that has someone going to an area that's never been found before on what they claim to be the PS4 version, pre-patch, first run, disc-based, on a PS4 that's not connected to the internet. And they claim that it just opened. So either, and I have more on this, but either at this point, right, it's either a modder that is trying to hide how good they are at modding this game and has found the source code.
Yeah.
Or this is legit and they found something that nobody had ever found before. Or it's Yoko Taro.
Okay.
So more stuff comes out. Sad Futago puts up another video. And the second video is of the interior of the church itself. And so I'm going to put Spoiler Lubu up at this point for anybody that cares about the original Nier. And I'm going to be very vague. But in the original Nier, there is a young girl that gets sacrificed on an altar. There is a character called the Shadow Lord. And there is a book called Grimoire Weiss. And there's a very powerful scene in a church. In this church, in this secret room, is a girl on the altar with the flower in her chest, a shadowy, blurred creature, and a book that flies up off screen out the window. Which leads me to believe this is a reference to the original Nier that either never got finished or never got found.
This is strange.
People are losing their minds, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we thought we'd found everything in this game, and this is video footage showing we did not.
And do we have anybody else that's replicating?
So nobody else has been able to do it.
Oh.
But here's where things get really weird. And this is where my theory comes in. Yosuke Saito, who works with Yoko Taro as a writer for the Nier games, tweeted out to this eternal mystery. Then, 6 hours ago, Yoko Taro tweeted out, "Do you want to know about my insight? In that case, you can find answer at my Twitter profile. Thank you." Yoko Taro's Twitter profile, if we go to that, is I can't answer about any products. Please ask publisher. I can't reply DM except business and acquaintance.
Well, that's an answer.
Yeah. So then, as of 4 hours ago, the Nier mod subreddit, who's been hunting for this forever, says they haven't found anything similar to this. They haven't been able to find this in the game, and that you can dump the files and dig them up through Blender and still weren't able to find the church.
Interesting.
Then, as if all of this wasn't enough, the modder put out a video. The guy who said he found it, Sad Futago, supposedly put out this video that was like an answer to it, and it was just a Rickroll.
No, that's what all this is for.
So, what this comes down to is one of two things, and here's my theory. Well, this is not the one is that it's a guy that figured out how to mod the game. And he's modded the game, and that's why these files aren't found, and they're literally files from the Nier Replicant version, right? My theory is this is all a work, and it's Yoko Taro.
Is there anything coming out soon?
Yes. The Switch version of Nier Automata with the End of Yorha version.
Yes.
Which I believe in that version you'll be able to find this secret room. The reason I say that, I'm not just like tinfoil hat over here. I do have reasons for this. Sad Futago, right? That's right. Sad Futago means sad twin. And the copied city is an area with two twins, one of which is sad.
Okay.
Yoko Taro put clues for the end of Nier Automata in the crossover that they had with FF14. In those raids, you find information about what happened after the end of Nier Automata. And he put information about Nier Automata in the end of Nier Replicant, the remake of Nier Gestalt that was put out on PS4 and Xbox and PC. This is 100% one of those things that Yoko Taro would do. So this is what it comes down to, right? This is the level of troll this man is. In Drakengard 1, the game that starts the story for all of this, your main character makes a deal, a pact with a red dragon. And in the first Nier raid, you could find a red dragon as a bug that would say that character's name. This is 100% something Yoko Taro would do.
But I think there's going to be something else that comes with it.
Yeah.
There's going to be something to finish there or complete there.
There's supposedly the modders, like the mod subreddit and the mod Discord, are like buckling down on this and trying to figure it out. And I assume they're going to find something.
Yeah.
That is the final key to this.
Woo.
But if this winds up being an elaborate ploy by a modder that was able to figure out how to do it, I won't even be mad, because it means that then we'll have the tech to be able to mod new levels into Nier Automata, which is one of my favorite games ever.
The person's probably getting a job.
Right. So I won't even be mad, but I really do honestly believe this is Yoko Taro. And if I'm right, you're all going to know it, because I'm going to tell you.
A special segment.
Oh, it just, man, what a thing.
That's good. Be interesting to see that down the road, how it turns out.
Yeah. I should specify, I love Yoko Taro. The man is a troll, and he knows it. This is the man that they put him in an interview for the crossover with FF14, and they asked him, what did you want to do that they wouldn't let you do? And he said, I really wanted to kill the player's character. Their MMO character that they play as, I really wanted at the end of my quest line for that character to have to die, and the players would have to make a new character.
Oh.
This is the level of troll he is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yoko Taro, what a madman he is. But we'll see how that all turns out, because I'm gonna be following that story very closely. Trust me.
All right.
Next up, we have the Breath of the Wild multiplayer mod. Is just about done. And so this is one that normally we wouldn't talk about stuff like this on the podcast because we don't want Nintendo to see it, shut it down. It's close enough to being done that it doesn't matter. They're going to put it out anyway. I should say, though, it is...
Gotcha. Blasher.
It is only local, currently not online, and it is only for the Wii U version. Now, of course, the Wii U eShop closes soon, so you won't be banned for modding your Wii U to play multiplayer.
It seems like this is a thing to do now. I mean, because I think a Fallout 4 multiplayer got announced today, I think, or this week.
Yeah.
So, and Skyrim multiplayer has been everywhere.
Right. I will say the video that they used to show it off was not as detailed as I hoped it would be. I hoped it would show, like, how does the game load fast travel with multiplayers? How does the game load different areas at the same time? How far away can players get before the game starts to chug? And it didn't show any of that. And instead it just showed them taking on Ganon's castle, which is a weird decision, I think, when you're showing off a mod to go, hey, let's go fight the final boss.
Yeah.
But it works. You're able to... I can bring down the spoilers thing. I forgot about that. It works. Both players can have completely separate inventories at the same time. They can both activate the different champion buffs at the same time. It's pretty cool. So
I wonder how...
Go ahead.
I just kind of wonder how it's going to be implemented across... Like, if does one person go unlock the ancient weapons, the guardians?
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about it too. Because what about the paraglider? Does the other player automatically get it when the first player gets it? I assume so. What about the Master Sword?
Yeah, or is that something that only the main player can get?
Right.
Either way, it should be interesting.
Yeah.
The I would kind of like to see one done where you have one player who's it,
Right.
right? Whether that's in Zelda or in the Skyrim, where you have one player, he's a Dragonborn, he
Right.
gets the abilities, or she does, the main player that's hosting the server.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it. It'll be interesting to see where this one goes because the modding community's gotten better and better,
Mm-hmm.
and it seems like the tools that are available to use,
Yeah.
for the modding community have got better and better.
I agree.
As new hardware comes out, as people reverse engineer the games,
Yeah.
to figure out how to put stuff in.
Yeah, and this is a good next step for Breath of the Wild modding too, because it means that you can now have a second controller set up to be able to do stuff for modding, to test things. One of my favorite parts in that video they showed off is they get to a door that needs to be magnetized open, and one player magnetizes it while the other runs in to hit the mob on the other side. It's like, yeah, that's automatically, there's so much more you can do there. And modding wise, people will be able to make multiplayer shrines that, hey, this relies on you having another player to solve the puzzle with you.
Yeah. Wow. I don't know, man. It's going to be really interesting to see where modding is in, let's say, 5 years.
Yeah,
because we've got big titles coming out. You're gonna have the second Breath of the Wild. You're gonna have Hammerfell. Starfield will have had a good run. Be going on a good run by that point. And it's very interested to see what these people around the world can put in.
Yeah.
Because you can change your Skyrim, you can change your Fallout game, you can change your so many games when you've got, especially if you get them through Steam, right?
Right.
That you can almost make them a different game.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to speak. And it'd be very interesting to see how far they're going to take the Legend of Zelda and these other games.
Yeah.
And take.
Well, and I think that in many cases, modders step up when the companies stop supporting games. I talked about it not that long ago, but the unification mod for Dawn of War 2, for the Warhammer 40k Dawn of War 2, that lets you actually, or for original Dawn of War, sorry, lets you actually, play with the later factions that never got added because players went and took models from the newer game and added factions,
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Mods are great. Nobody should try to squish them. Piracy's not necessarily a bad thing.
There's a video.
Right. Minecraft. Let's talk Minecraft some more, because Minecraft has rejected. That's not how you spell rejected. Rejected NFTs, which is smart.
But it's weird. What are they defining as that? What are they? Go ahead.
Specifically, it's they do not want their software to be used for blockchains.
No, non-fungible token.
So, for instance, one of the biggest blockchain games that was coming out was NFT World, and it used Minecraft's source code as a base.
Gotcha.
And so Minecraft is going, no, you can't just use our code to make blockchain games that look like us and then try to sell it to children. We're not going to let you do that.
Yeah. I'm going to protect that code a little bit.
Yeah. So it's a pretty hard stance they've taken on it too. Their exact words are, each of these, talking about the different games that they're saying no to, use of NFTs and other blockchain technologies creates digital ownership based on scarcity and exclusion, which does not align with Minecraft values of creative inclusion and playing together. NFTs are not inclusive of all of our community and create a scenario of the have and the have-nots. The speculative pricing and investment mentality around NFTs takes the focus away from playing the game and encourages profiteering, which we think is inconsistent with the long-term joy and success of our players.
Okay. I think that's fair. That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
Because it's that they could have monetized,
it,
but then it wouldn't be the biggest game in the world.
Right.
and they've kind of stayed true to that, even with like updates,
Yeah.
and things that the publisher has done
Yeah.
to keep the game going. So
Well,
I get it does line up with that.
I think so too.
Sure.
The other big thing they have here is that they've specifically said, hey, if you're a player or a creator actively involved in the buying, selling, or trading NFTs that make use of Minecraft, you will be banned. You will not be able to. It doesn't matter if you bought a copy of Minecraft or not. You will be banned. So,
Yeah,
don't use their stuff to sell NFTs, is what they're saying.
and they're pretty firm about it.
Yep.
They're pretty firm about it.
So, yeah, no.
Ah.
Next,
You got one.
Okay.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, I was gonna say you got one more thing you threw in here.
Yeah, we actually wound up with 2 new extra stories because we got one that came through right before the podcast started. So this one is just a little thing. Warzone Mobile stole Amuro Ray's logo.
Wow.
Then they got called out on it, and then they immediately deleted everything. So, Call of Duty Warzone Mobile, the Twitter account, the fan Twitter account, put out a tweet showing the new logo for Project Aurora, which I'm going to drag on screen here.
They're not having much luck with logos this year.
Right. So this is Project Aurora. This was their logo. And, it's not a bad looking logo. And then this is Amuro Ray's logo.
Amuro.
And so if we just put these 2 logos side by side, I don't know if you can see it. They didn't even try. Somebody got fired. That's all I'm saying. Somebody got fired. So they purged this so hard, I couldn't even pull up their blog post on the Wayback Machine.
Oh wow.
They have wiped it all.
You can pay the Wayback Machine to have stuff removed. But either way,
people were adding Bandai Namco and Sunrise and Yoshiki Tomino and going, hey, did you know that Warzone stole your logo? And then people were adding Call of Duty and going, hey, this is a mistake. You need to change this right now. Those Gundam people are coming for you.
Well, we went through this not too long ago with Street Fighter.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6. Yeah.
Yes. Where they really didn't try too hard on the logo, and
No, they didn't.
they ended up having to change it.
Also, like, if you're gonna steal a Gundam logo, why did you steal the main character of Gundam's logo? What are you thinking?
Parallel thinking.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been taken care of already publicly, right? It no longer exists. I'm sure on the back end there'll be some slaps on the wrist, but they have recanted that logo and it no longer exists on the internet.
Wow.
And then this last story is surprising. It dropped right before the podcast. The KOTOR remake is paused. Now this
give any whys with it, huh?
They do give a little bit, and I've got a full blog post here from Bloomberg because they're the ones who broke the story. Of course, that means it was Jason Schreier, and I'm gonna keep personal feelings about the man out and just talk about his article because that's the right thing to do. Knights of the Old Republic, a remake of the 2003 role-playing game, is delayed indefinitely as developers at Austin, Texas-based Asper Media try to figure out what comes next. Asper also abruptly fired the game's art director and design director this month. In a series of meetings throughout July, Asper's 2 studio heads told employees that the project is on pause and the company will look for new contracts and development opportunities.
It sounds why once they keep saying paused.
Yep.
Which is a weird statement, right?
Yeah. Do you just get to tell the people that paid you to make this game, hey, we're gonna take a break?
And that's it, you're just updating this game.
Yeah, you're just remaking it. Like it was supposed to just be like a remaster, really, I guess. But now I'm thinking it was supposed to be a full on remake, and they gave us a bad explanation before. Because why else fire the art director?
Yeah, that's a weird thing. Do you really? I get. The only thing it seems like an art director would do in that situation is making sure the new design is cohesive with the old design.
Yeah.
If you're updating that way. I don't know.
It's really strange.
I'm still confused. Yeah, it's using the word paused in a game development cycle is not reassuring.
Right. And Brad Prince, the design director, and the art director, Jason Miner, have both been reached out to. Both have neglected to comment. However, Miner on his Twitter put out a thing that just said, didn't expect this to happen today. So it wasn't something that had been built up to.
Yeah.
Which makes me think that there's some serious problems with that company, but I don't know that.
Yeah.
But
we'll have to. Ugh. A lot of waiting in this episode. There's the firing bothers me and their language bothers me.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder.
I agree.
Obviously, there's people looking forward to this.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was a classic game. After Rockstar remade the remake, which didn't go over well.
Right. And then Ubisoft pushed back the Prince of Persia remakes twice.
Right. It seems like they don't want to do this game.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me too. And what confused me even more is we know a demo was made not that long ago to show off to Lucasfilms, to show them that how it was going and see how they thought about it. And it seemed like development was still going, so it seemed like that demo went off fine. But now I'm questioning if it actually did, or if Lucasfilms has been in talk with them for the last couple months.
Going, maybe. Somebody needs to stay on top of it for sure. But
yeah,
it's just weird wording, weird phrasing. The getting rid of the art director is a strange twist in this little tale.
Yeah, it really is. Also, Embracer bought Asper, the Swedish group Embracer. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. They bought a different studio. Bought Asper last year, and there were rumors then that Saber, which is also owned by Embracer, was being put on the project too. And it could be that Embracer is going, hey, Saber's going to do this now instead of y'all.
That is a possibility. You may be onto something there.
But we'll have to wait and see to be sure. We probably won't find out anything for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the way it goes.
Well, we'll throw it over to Rundgren's Corner.
All right. So, first of all, we're going to say happy birthday. We always do. And today's happy birthday goes to Kate Beckinsale.
Oh.
So, yeah. And, happy birthday. I'm sure she's watching.
Big fan.
It also happens to be Carl Jung's birthday as well, but I didn't want to get in that conversation.
Yeah, that's fair.
I had two news stories. One's not really a news story; it's just a thing. But apparently, the rise of robots has started.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard the story yet, but it's kind of everywhere. The chess playing robot that broke the little boy's finger.
Yeah, I haven't heard the whole story. I've just heard bits and pieces of it.
Okay, so little boy is apparently named Christopher. I'm not digging too much into his name. The reaction kind of strange, but he was playing the robot. He's one of the best in the world under 9.
Yeah,
he's a little kid, so he's 7 years old, and apparently because the robot made a move and he went to make a move, he got in the robot's way. It's like you need to wait your turn.
Yeah,
and this kind of bothers me a little bit because that's kind of what it seems like the people who run this. The robot broke the child's finger, which this is of course bad. Uh, was one of the quotes. Yes, it's pretty bad. Now look, the kid finished the tournament. He got his finger plastered up and everything. But this is a
Good on you,
robot
kid.
robot arm that grabbed the kid's finger, and if you see the picture of it, he crushed the end of it.
Yeah.
The robot crushed the end of the finger.
What happened to Asimov's rules of robotics?
Yeah, I don't know.
How do you make a robot and then has the strength to do that and not go, hey, we should probably make sure it knows it shouldn't do that?
It's a strange thing. Apparently they did have rules around playing the robots.
Yeah.
And they had stuff set out, but they're facing, even Russia with everything going on there, they're still facing lots of lawsuits. The chess committee,
Yeah, I'm
right?
sure.
From the parents. But they're really trying to put out that because this is such an odd story.
Yeah.
If you've ever I've never heard of a robot like breaking somebody's bones.
No, never.
In a chess tournament. Not even like the boxing chess.
Yeah.
You haven't seen that. That's something else. So there's video of it if you're so inclined.
I'm sure.
So you can see the robot's mechanical claw descending down towards the board, and instead of getting a chess piece, it gets the little boy's finger.
Right.
People jumping out. I don't know. I have a I have a problem. This is going to big discussion because I feel like we throw AI around.
Right, we do.
And it's
as
not AI.
As a race, as humanity, we throw that around.
We say a lot of stuff's AI and it's not, but it can kind of feel like it. That little story, it almost seems to me, even though there's no AI there really, except for a chess playing program,
right?
Designed to move the pieces, but to tell me that, well, the robot broke his finger because the little boy didn't wait his turn,
right?
That sounds kind of human to me.
Yeah, that's not. You don't program a AI AI is the word, right? You don't program a CPU to do that. It chose to do that.
I'm just wondering, is this going to affect further games? Is it going to be like an intimidation factor?
Right. You're going to sit down with it and look.
You do too good, I'll break your finger.
It's like playing chess with a Wookiee.
I got one other story I came across today.
Okay.
And it's really just one little sentence in that kind of threw me out. But apparently, airlines have been having a horrible, horrible trouble with people's baggage. And in some places, 1 out of every 10 bags goes missing. Now, this has got to be a pain in the neck.
Right.
Just in general, right? You get somewhere and you lose your stuff. But you've got, I read one story of one photographer who had like $50,000 worth of video equipment. Just came up missing.
Yeah.
And the other side of this is the airports aren't compensating,
of course,
for a loss.
Of course.
$50,000 was one of the highest. One lady lost over, estimated at $1,500.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is not cheap by any stretch of the imaginations, and they're not getting, of course, they're not getting any information back.
Yeah. Nightbot, what are you doing? There was no ad. What do you mean?
I don't know.
So
but I'm pretty sure this is one of the signs of the end, bags going missing.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, people will be losing stuff on buses. So I would be rather upset. I understand. I'm rather upset, but this is enough to make news. Where 1 in 10 bags you can't keep up with.
That's too much. Those things are definitely getting stolen.
Or something. God.
There's so many horror stories that I've heard of people that have flown to tournaments for $40K that have brought their armies in safe enclosed bags where they wouldn't get broken, and then their bag's just not there when they go to pick it up.
Oh man, that'd be sickening.
And
But
then, of
it,
course, there was the story about United with that guy's guitar, that he made 3 songs about it because they broke his guitar.
yeah, yeah, and which okay, there is
There's the ad. Nightbot was just early.
yes, it predicted the future. Nightbot predicted the future. That's all it was doing.
$31 again. All right.
Yeah.
So Nightbot
All right.
knows what he's doing. Hello again.
Yeah. So these, I don't think these stories are connected.
Right.
The uprising of the machines and the lost luggage.
Yeah.
But
They could be.
they may be, and if they are, we'll get to the bottom of it. You got a Kung Fu Panda ad. Awesome.
Those robots are stealing that camera equipment so they can replace the YouTubers.
That's it. That's it. The uprising has started.
I still can't get over the fact that it broke the kid's finger. Like, see, if you had told me it pinched his finger when his finger was in the way of it trying to pick up a piece, I'd have gone, okay, yeah, sure. But there's no way it would have crushed the top of the piece. You don't program it to do that. So why did it go for his finger?
Yeah, I don't know. People jumped up trying to help.
Yeah,
trying to
sure.
get the kid loose. Like the kid had to have a cast. It was rather nasty looking finger at the end of it. There was a lot of pressure. It was disturbing. It was disturbing.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you put a lot of work into making that robot, but it's time to burn that thing down, melt it to pieces,
Right?
and then bury it.
Put it out there with the ET 2600 game console.
That's right.
Game card.
That's right.
Where it needs to go.
All right. Well, I think we have time for a topic.
Oh, huh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We got what, 11? I got 11 on the sheet here.
Yeah, so we'll roll a d12 and we'll drop the 12. Alexa, roll a d12. She can't roll a d12. Wow, that's worthless. Okay, never mind. She did it. Okay, 7.
7.
I don't know why she didn't do it when I asked the first time, but she did when after I talked bad about her. So, oh boy, this is a fun one. So this is a whole discussion here. It's not just about Michael Bay. But
Good, read it up. Go ahead.
Why do people like Michael Bay movies, Rugrat?
Explosions.
Yeah.
Next.
Turn your brain off, right? That's the topic.
Well, wait, I think we've talked about this before. There's some movies where that's what it is, right?
Yeah.
You just sit back and you're not going to think about it.
Right.
I'm not going to overthink a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah, you just enjoy what's going on.
Halloween. Yeah.
There are some movies that require, this is going to sound really pretentious, there's some movies that require critical thinking, and there's some movies that critical thinking hurts the experience.
Yes. If I'm watching, yeah. It depends on what the message is gone through. Yeah. I think Michael Bay everything about his is really about the special effects of what stuff gets sold on, right?
Yeah. And if you care about the property that he's making a movie on, you're probably not going to enjoy the movie. I don't mean that in a bad way, but if you really care about the plot in Transformers,
yeah,
and you care about those characters, Michael Bay's version of them is not those characters by far.
True. They're almost sharp, but they are giant robots in the skies fighting each other.
Yeah.
I think it goes for. I think just as a species, we love spectacle, and he's good at providing that. He's really good at providing that.
Absolutely,
and making stuff big and look good.
Absolutely. I also think that like the level of turn your brain off is different for every person, right? There are some people that can't turn their brain off and don't enjoy comedy movies for that reason. They don't enjoy things that don't make perfect, natural sense all the time. And there are other people that only want to turn their brain off and don't want to have to think about a movie. So it's everybody differs in that way. And the people that can't turn their brain off will not be able to enjoy a Michael Bay movie.
Fair.
Because that explosion shouldn't look like that if it got shot by a rocket, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sitting here.
Explosion in space?
Right. I'm sitting here going, I don't care that just exploded in a way that doesn't add up. I'm watching Velocipaster where they removed a car with a burning car VFX here sign. You know, like, I'm fine with that. But I also don't turn my brain off in the way that, like, the argument is made of, well, you're just looking too much into it. Like with Last Jedi, right? That's the argument that's made a lot with The Last Jedi is, well, you just turn your brain off. Stop thinking so hard. There's a divide there, right? And I think it's a scale instead of just a, hey, this is, you should be able to enjoy it because of this.
Yeah. Now, you brought up Transformers. That's obviously one of his series with some history.
Right.
You know, and it touches on that, but you're right. It definitely doesn't go into these characters, doesn't go into the characters in depth.
Yeah.
We don't get story arcs.
Also, spoilers, Starscream gets killed by rank and file soldiers with, like, guns. Not rockets, not a tank, just a bunch of GIs with guns, and I just cannot condone that. I'm sorry.
It's the rightful successor.
That's right.
Megatron.
It just feels wrong. Yeah, they just shoot him in the throat a bunch, and then he dies. Like, he grabs a guy, and so Starscream has miniguns, but it doesn't matter when a guy with a AR-15 is under his throat. So
yes, yeah, no. It's one of those things you kind of wish. Like, yes, I'd like to have somebody else take care of that property.
Right.
I would like to have somebody else that grew up like I did. To have the Transformers property, you know, or love the cartoon or read some of the comic books,
right?
You know, and to know how much of a big deal it is, you know, if Galvatron shows up,
right? For sure.
Like, holy cow, stuff got serious.
Yeah,
but there's games like that too where I don't. I think that's one of the things for Skyrim, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I get really cool scenes. I can just travel.
Yep.
And just wander around and get stuff done.
For sure.
So,
like the new Ghostbusters, yeah. Made by people that actually know the property.
Yeah.
I was going to throw out here too, because there's another set of movies that get lumped in with this, and I think it's for a incorrect reason is maybe the way I'll word it, and that's the MCU. People lump the MCU in with, like, Bayformers. It's like, well, it just turn your brain off and enjoy it. And it's like, I don't think you have to for most of those movies. I think you can keep your brain on and still enjoy those movies. But there are definitely some of those movies where if I start thinking about them critically, I enjoy them less.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe this is coming down to when you really expand out the argument about formulaic.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's one of the things about the MCU. It's become formulaic. You can almost put the pattern on the movie. And I think that does have weaknesses.
Yeah, I agree.
I think I pointed that out. But
sometimes you just want to see a superhero punch a guy.
Yeah. You know, I love the movie The One with Jet Li.
Yeah.
But I dig the ending scene of it when he's on top of he's on top of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Fighting just all these people.
Yeah.
Now, I could take an hour and a half of that. An hour and a half of Jet Li on top of the pyramid just fighting people.
Yep, go for it. I'm there.
Yeah, you know, all right. That'd have been great. But they did go the longer route to tell a story in that one. And it may not be the best example. I think another one. I got a movie.
Okay.
Bulletproof Monk.
Yeah. All right. I think I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
Yeah. If you really care, that movie's really shallow.
Right.
Really shallow. But if you don't, it's enjoyable.
Yeah. John Wick's
So
same way, right? Like if you really got to start breaking down the way that the assassin organization works, it's like there's a lot of issues with this organization and the way they do things.
yeah,
But you're not meant to do that, and you can do it, and I think still enjoy those movies. But if you do it, you're definitely gonna wind up walking away from it going, man, there's some weird stuff that happens in this plot. Like the
yeah,
third one, I think is the best example of it with like the Pigeon King or the
yeah.
like. How is that allowed according to their organization? But that's not the point of the movie. The point of the movie is John Wick's gonna get revenge on some people. You know?
Well, Michael Bay movies or movies like that, they go and this, the '80s are a prime example of it. It's like, how do we get to the action scene?
Yeah.
And those movies that step out have something more than that step on that, even if it's Die Hard is a good example.
Yeah, absolutely.
The original Die Hard that have just something a little extra special about it. They really stick with people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Something that's stick with you. But I want to see, big robots on the screen,
Yeah.
every once in a while fighting,
Yeah.
explosions. I need this basic, nice, simple.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't need a convoluted plot every time.
Right. And to clarify for anybody that's watching, I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with overanalyzing a plot. 100% I do it for Star Wars, for every single one of those I watch. It just so happens that 3 of them I overanalyze and come back walking away going, man, that was great. And I was able to overanalyze it and still, I'd super enjoy it. And then 3 of them I overanalyze and go, man, these are funny. And 3 of them are overanalyze and go, man, what a disappointment. And you get to choose which one of those 3 they are.
Well, it's also a little bit different thing because he's got standalone movies that are not, that don't have any lore in them.
Right.
And that's kind of, that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
Really what we're getting to.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about stuff that's got history and got lore and we know how these characters act,
Yeah.
or how we expected them to act, that adds a lot of weight to something that I stand alone, if you just give me
Bad Boys 1.
Yeah, that's I enjoy that movie.
Yeah, we're having a great time.
Yes.
And I think what it comes down to for me, because I do hate that argument to turn your brain off, I think it just comes down to different, what do you want right now? Like, there are nights where I want a full course meal, right? There are nights where I really want a good meal, where I'm going to sit down, I'm going to enjoy that, I'm gonna feel like I did good. I go to a restaurant, I have, a full experience, There are nights where I hit fast food on the way home, and I get a couple dollar burgers, and I'm loving those dollar burgers. And then there are nights where all I had to eat that night was a bowl of ramen or some chips and a sandwich. And guess what? I'm still enjoying that movie or that sandwich,
Yeah. I think the jokes come in where obviously the budget, right?
Yeah.
That's watch Zoolander. Zoolander's great.
Zoolander's a great movie. Zoolander's a very good movie.
But also on the backside of this, because of stuff he's done, I think we'll get other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get things that can be analyzed, that we can go deep on.
I agree.
This is not to say that it's out of his realm,
right,
to do that. It's just, I guess maybe I have just not really low expectations. I have certain expectations if you tell me Michael Bay is going to be part of it, right?
Right, I agree.
I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to check this out.
Yeah, this is not going to be a Transformers movie, but it's going to look cool, and there's going to be cool stuff that happens in it.
Yeah.
And as a Transformers fan, yeah, those aren't great Transformers movies, but they're still enjoyable movies, and there's some really cool scenes in those movies.
Yeah, and that's the catch, I think, is getting is that's what those movies are about.
Yeah.
Getting to really cool scenes, and they don't always tie those scenes together neatly.
Right. And they did bring Transformers back up to the fore again, and it got a bunch of new animated series because of it, people go, well, Michael Bay or directors like him, especially with the MCU right now, people have a couple of directors that they're just like, man, anything these people touch just becomes terrible, MCU garbage. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, it may not be the version you want it to be, but it will still bring publicity to the thing you like. Hopefully you'll get a good version of it. I wish you could get a good version of it every time. I really, truly do. But You know, maybe it's just a different type of movie. Just, you can enjoy the MCU and enjoy. I just completely forgot the name of the movie I was thinking of. It's that serious uh, movie about the Eddie Redmayne's in it, and he's the transgender person. Um, I can't remember the name of that movie, but sometimes you want a popcorn movie, and sometimes you want a hey, I'm gonna walk out of this movie with questions about my own life.
Yeah. I don't need an existential crisis after every movie.
Right. Sometimes I just want to watch Doctor Strange stand up to Dormammu, and
Yeah.
sometimes I want to watch Fiddler on the Roof.
You know, we talk about Godzilla a lot, but this is
Yeah.
another kind of good example because you have the Godzillas that are like the original Godzilla was very dark. You have got these Godzillas dark, but you also you get to see the other side of it, of what people have got out of it.
Yeah,
Later
absolutely.
direction. You know, I want it to be fun. Godzilla's interesting.
I have
So-
the best example right here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Okay.
It just hit me.
No, go for it.
Sometimes I want to watch Nicolas Cage hunt down the Declaration of Independence, and sometimes I want to watch an incredibly sad movie about Nicolas Cage trying to find his pig. Like, those two movies are so drastically different in tone
Yeah.
and in type, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you just mentioned Godzilla. Sometimes you want to watch Godzilla and Jet Jaguar have like crazy, silly antics where they jump up in the sky and Godzilla flies. And
Yeah.
sometimes you want to watch Godzilla fighting Destroyer and getting ripped apart, you know?
It's I
Pig is
think
some
we
movie.
take a lot of different directors and encapsulate them like this.
Yeah.
Because you had a time like with M. Night Shyamalan,
Yeah.
where he was the thing. Anything he touched was considered great.
Right.
And
And
then
then
people kind of fell out with that.
then the happening happened. Then he made The Last Airbender.
But I think
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure, Waverly.
when I got my heart, yeah, that I think you can say two things. I think you say I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's not a great movie.
Yeah.
I think that those you can say both of those.
I think so too.
Because there's plenty of movies where I'm like it's not good, but I
Right.
really enjoy it.
Well, not every movie should change your life, right? Not every movie should be breakout. It's in my top 10 of all time now. You know, you don't get those exceptional movies that hit just the right points for you unless you watch enough movies to recognize the ones that hit the right points for you, you know? You need the movies that don't hit your top 10 to be able to have a top 10 at all.
And it's kind of I don't think that there's anything that he's done that I would be like, yes, that's cinematic history.
Right, I agree.
But I know his name.
Yeah.
I've seen his work, and I will probably see his work again in the future.
Yeah. They can't all be House
Yeah.
Moving Castle, exactly. All I'm saying is if I walk into a room and Bad Boys 2 is playing, whatever I was doing in that room is on pause for a second because I'm watching Bad Boys 2 for a second before I remember what I had to do. And not every movie's going to get that from me. But I would never say Bad Boys 2 is like top 10 best movies of all time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
Man,
that's a pretty deep discussion, especially when you just go into movies in general.
yeah. To
Because
cap
there's
this
sometimes-
off. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just saying sometimes the idea is good, right?
Yeah.
And the actual application it doesn't work.
Yeah, the execution's terrible, but the idea was great. Oh. Man.
Well,
I just thought of like 4 movies.
Yeah.
Look at the Hobbit movies.
Oh man. Oh man. I could go into that.
So to wrap this up, if I had to ask you, what is your favorite Michael Bay movie?
Actually, I would probably go. I'm probably gonna go with one of the Transformers movies.
Yeah.
And just because I got to see the Transformers on screen,
Yeah.
they weren't perfect, but they're pretty good.
Look, Dark of the Moon has an incredible fight scene in it. Is it Dark of the Moon or Dark Side of the Moon, something like that? Where Optimus
Yeah.
Prime just goes nuts and kills
Yeah.
like 4 Decepticons in a row. It's like, all right, Optimus, you go for it, man.
I knew you had it in you.
But Bad Boys 2 for me is probably my favorite Bay movie.
Yeah, I'd have to go through it and really look at his at the anthology.
Yeah.
With that, because I think, we can kind of pick it on him, but the more I think about it, it seems like there's stuff that he did. That did kind of become staples in movies.
Yeah, that's true. What?
He-
Go ahead.
I might be apologizing to him when here in a few months.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite movie?
Oh man, there's so many great movies. I tell you what, one that stood out to me for a long time was the original Highlander movie.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
I've always been a fan of the Sean Connery 007 movies. Princess Bride is almost perfect.
Princess Bride's very, very good.
Not The Hobbit, but the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah.
All the three in there were excellent. I don't know. Can you narrow it down for you?
So mine is also very tough, and unfortunately, almost all of them are foreign films. So most people watching this probably have not seen them, but I watch a lot of foreign films, just because the tropes are different. But for me, it's got to come down to either Children Who Chase Lost Voices, the animated movie, Porco Rosso, the animated movie, which is my favorite of the Ghibli movies, though it fights with Whisper of the Heart for that spot. Then The Raid.
Man, it's a good movie.
Incredible movie. Train to Busan.
Yeah.
Also an incredible movie. And then
okay, look, those two movies have multiple versions.
They do. And then Nightbot. No. Nightbot, calm down. And what's wrong with Caps, Nightbot? And then also I don't know what Moon 2, please no. The last one, no, you do not have to apologize to Nightbot. You take that apology back. The last one is The Good, the Bad, and the Weird, which is that Korean Western.
Yeah.
That is an incredible movie.
I don't know. There's been some great stories told in that medium.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Those are some great movies. Got me thinking. That list.
I gotta edit Nightbot after this to make it relax.
Warning! Warning!
Okay. I have disabled the excess caps or SS emotes. So
Okay.
you should be good now and shouldn't have to worry about it timing you out
You
again.
can scream all you want.
Nightbot deleted the messages too? Wow. Come on, Nightbot.
I've still got them.
They're still on my screen.
I don't know, man. I really like Jeremiah Johnson too.
Yeah.
Gosh. We could just list movies.
Man, I just remembered one of my new favorite movies of the last 10 years, Django Unchained. That's a dang good movie.
Yeah. I like both versions of Glorious Bastards too.
Yeah, great movie. There's a lot of good movies.
Great.
We should make a top 50 movies of all time list sometime.
I'd say it'd just be category.
It would.
Thrown in there. I don't know if I can actually pick one because True Romance would be up there. The Quentin Tarantino movie would be up there for me. I don't know.
It sure did. It's 71 messages deleted by a mod. I got it fixed now, Faith, so you shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. Thank you for all 71 of those messages.
Yes.
I appreciate them. They've been caught live on the stream, so everybody can still see them. Nightbot has been reeled back. We got the chain, and we're dragging it back to its cage. No, please do not apologize. You are fine. Nightbot, we're still learning what Nightbot does. This is our first stream with him. So he is an automatic... What's the right word? An automatic hound that is attacking people, and we got to drag him back and train him better. But this is how we learn, so we do appreciate it.
true. We'll always find new ways of not doing things.
Right.
How not to.
All right. Well, let's hit some plugs.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna plug my music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've made I chipped my earnings. I made 12 cents this year off the music. So thank y'all for listening. I know that probably sounds like a nothing, but it really means a lot to me.
Hey, it matters.
Yeah, really means a lot to me. The yes. We have we're trying to we do podcasts each night. We'll make sure we plug our shows. You can catch us Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Exclamation mark schedule.
There we go. We'll get those up. There was a channel I was watching today that I hadn't seen before.
Yeah.
On the YouTubes. Yes. The Y-Files.
Okay.
The Wi-Fi. It was does a very good job. Even it's got a fish that talks, hecklefish.
Nice.
It's well done videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it not a whole lot of videos, but very well done. But check out the Y-Files if you're into some kind of the strange and mysterious kind of stuff.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plug. Let me see if I can find this guy. Where is it? There's a cat video. There is a guy on TikTok, and I don't normally plug stuff on TikTok, but there's a guy on TikTok that is absolutely nuts. And all he does, it's the actual Sebastian on TikTok. I'm gonna put this in the chat.
Got somebody on TikTok absolutely nuts, then you have to narrow it down.
Right. Actual
Oh, it's good.
Sebastian. There you go. I've put it in the. Oh, it's not gonna let me do it because of Nightbot. There it goes. Nightbot legitimately told me you shouldn't post an at in the chat. Like, back off, Nightbot. I do what I want. I made you a mod. I will revoke your power. But no, he he like duets videos on TikTok. If everybody doesn't know, duetting is where you take a pre-existing song and then you add in. It's not ad time, Nightbot. You add in. You add in like your part to the song, right? And he just does like lyrics. He doesn't do extra music or anything like that. Sometimes it's rap, sometimes it's not. But the man comes out swinging with some of the craziest lyrics. And my favorite is, I don't know if you've ever seen the video or not, but there is a video of a cat drinking milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cat.
Yeah.
The video, I'll link it in the description to this. The video that has him in it has him just come out swinging with like 1940s big band swing of a lyric that is just, this looks like a cavalcade of beggars, sin, and wine. And then he just goes in, and it is really fun. The guy makes a lot of really good stuff. So I'm going to start trying to get more TikTok stuff on here and more stuff on TikTok for the channel. So I'll try to plug TikTok people that we find too. So. Yeah, we got more stuff coming up this week. You already talked about how we got Mordenkainen's Thursday, and we got videos coming up as well. Like I said, I got Minecraft footage, I got Stranger Paradise footage. Videos will be coming up for those. So, cool stuff coming.
Well, we'll try to keep you all informed as we learn stuff.
Yeah. But until next time, I've been Trey.
I've been Rungren.
We've been the Full Spectrum Podcast. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. And life has to offer.